Peace and blessings. I am Regina, and welcome to my happy place, Diva G's Reborns. We are here today continuing to work on our baby Maddox. Okay, so our baby Maddox, we have applied the yellow ochre to give him some of the mid-face highlight. I know it maybe looks a little scary. However, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay. And we can still see the the undertones that we've placed, and we're going to go ahead with some more undertones. Same thing. In strategic areas, we've placed some of the yellow ochre to give the illusion of fat. So we will be going over this a little bit more. Okay. So this is where we are with our handsome young man. Now, what I would like to do is I want to go across some of his face. I want to go across his eyelids with the eyelid purple, and I want to go certain areas on his face with the blue. Okay, so just a little bit of, these colors I think will be beneficial. Just a few of these colors. Not like a whole lot, but a little something something. So I think that those colors would be helpful. So eyelid purple, and we are going to stir it up. Okay. I hope everyone is doing well, enjoying the series, and that you are staying safe and sound. I would like to also encourage you, before we go any further, to please like, comment, subscribe, and share. The area where I want to go with our baby is directly on the eyelid with eyelid purple. Um, what the eyelid purple does is it gives that sheer bit of color. Okay, it gives that sheer little bit of color. And it gives like a kind of like a translucent look. That's what it does. I want to put just a little bit of water, just a pinch of the distilled water with the wetting aid, just a little bit. I think he really looks good. Can you see a little bit of the difference with the eye on the eyelids? I think you can kind of see a little bit of that difference. Now I want to go across a little bit of the area on his ear where we did go with some of the eyelid purple. Moisten my brush. And we're going to go back across the area. I like adding colors shades and shadows. I enjoy that a lot. And this is still what I consider underpainting. Now I want to go back into the ear canal where I just kind of went with a little bit of the, I went in with some color to deepen it up a little bit with the pencil, with the chocolate color pencil. Now I'm going to go over that area with the eyelid purple, and then I will pounce that out. See how that creates some shadow? Great. Now I want to do the same thing on the other side. That gives the illusion of some shadow there. The areas where I put the brown for the shadow, I'm going to go across with the eyelid purple because the eyelid purple will kind of deepen it up. Now, this is a biracial baby, and I will focus a little bit on darkening up the tip of the ears, however, not to the degree of a darker skinned baby. Okay, I am seeing a little bit of, I need to add a little bit of the satin glaze in here. Add a bit of the satin glaze. Because I'm finding that it's not, it's not, I don't, it's not that it's streaking, but it's not, I don't know. It's just that I know I need to add some more. I can't properly articulate it, but yeah. So I'll just add a little bit more. And I may need to put a little bit more, let's see. I'm gonna just take a little bit and go across the ear. Because what happens, it should blend. It really should blend nicely. And it's blending, but there's like a little something different. Let me just add a little bit more. Let's see where we're going. Because if the paint consistency is too thick, it won't look do well either. One second. Okay, I am back. I went over the I went over a little bit in here with the blue. Let's show you where. Just a tiny bit, the inner corner of the eye, just a little bit. And then I want to go inside, part of the ear. Okay. Where we would believe that the skin would be give the illusion of thin skin. And I'm using blue wash. This is a blue wash that I'm using. And I like using I like using washes because you can build them up, and I like using them. I see something on the kit, so I just want to just put some distilled water. Okay, what I see is a piece of hair, and I'm going to get it off. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to go across the other ear. Now, sometimes you do see a little bit of blue in the triangle area of the head. Now, what I'll do is I will take just a little bit of the blue and just go across there. Okay. Okay, now I want to go over certain areas on the hand that I would like to put some blue. I like blue at the base of the fingers in here. So I'm going to take a little bit, and I'm using my Christina Woolies brush because it's very thin. You know, you can get fine lines with it. See if I can bring you along with me where I'm going with the color. I really feel like the details matter. And what we will be doing as well is we will be going across with some more of, with the cafe con leche or the, what would be considered like a nutmeg color, because we want to deepen up the color in the palms and the soles of the feet. I'm just looking if there's anywhere else that I want blue to be around. Because while we have the color out, we can go ahead and utilize it. Okay. And I like in the toe area, I like to put the blue to give the impression of thin skin there too. I think it looks very nice. Gonna go a little bit in here with the blue. Let's see. And I'm gonna go a little medially there and laterally here.
And there he is, Dave Haas. And you know, Sunday, you've got an invitation to spend some time inside the Dave Plaza. Dave has been rehearsing actually in his living room at home with Bob Jones. How fun, how inspiring. They've got their upcoming Just House show that's going to be happening before you know it on the South African Terrace. Wouldn't it be a dream to be on board that? Speaking of
Okay.
two legends, hand in hand, we can hook you up
Now what I want to do is I want to go across with the heat gun on all of the areas. It won't take long. Now I want to go back in with our yellow ochre. The yellow ochre I will go across the fat rolls to make them stand out. Mixing it up, and let's see if you can see the consistency. Okay. Again, the consistency of whole, kind of like whole milk. And I'm just stirring it up. Debating. I will put a little bit of the yellow ochre on this lovely fat roll here. Now, of course, we don't want the baby to look jaundiced, so, but he would not look jaundiced. This would just continue to make this stand out a bit. To me, certain areas. Okay. Now the rolls of fat that are on the kit, I want to pay attention to those areas so that they can stand out and be, prominent. Because I can see where it appears like there's a roll of fat there. So I want to honor that, to highlight that. Because you can see where the sculptor, did certain things, and you can accentuate those things too, or not. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. All of these things are subtle, and they come together. Okay. I'm not certain if you can see the impression of the fat. Excuse me. The baby has so many rolls of fat. And just kind of playing them up, I think, is gonna be nice. I think it's nice to have the accents of the rolls of fat, highlighted. Have a little spot that I want to get off. Little black spot. Okay, good. These are the parts that, some of the details. I'm trying to show every bit that I can so that Karen can see her baby coming to life. And when we say that, we know that, it's a doll, but coming to life meaning becoming more real looking as the layers of paint and the detail work, what it does, how it helps to bring the kit to life. He has like real chunky ankles with fat rolls. So I think they would be very cute to highlight them. He has the cutest little fat feet. Now I'm putting the yellow ochre on the areas of fat or skin that appear to be elevated. So that's where I'm going with it. So it will make it, look plump. Add to that 3D look. Everywhere, what we're doing is to kind of add to the realism that we can try to bring to the kit. Again, everything for depth and shadows. Try to get in the camera a little bit more. And I'm using the Swisspers Cosmetic Wedge. This is the one that gives the nice skin texture. I love shadows and depth. It just really brings that added bit of realism to the kit. It really does. Really does. And when you're looking at a kit, um, oftentimes you will be able to see what the sculptor's vision was when they were sculpting the kit. Let's see. Making the fat really stand out. Have you seen the pictures that have been posted of Serena Williams? Such a massive amount of weight loss. I believe she's taking one of those injections, promoting one of those injections. She's lost her body fat. She's lost her curves, her feminine curves. Um, I don't know. Um, I hope she's okay. It populated on my YouTube feed. Not sure why, but it populated. And like I said, I'm not sure why it populated because I don't do anything with weight or meds or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe maybe because she has children and we do the dolls. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. But in any event, it populated on my feed, and that's how I saw it. And I was like, oh my. Yeah, so I hope she's okay. once you lose muscle mass like that, that's, so I don't know. I believe she had gained, weight after her children. So, but I don't know. Each to their own as to what they do and what they share. I don't know anything about her overall actual health. So I can't really, of course, I can't speak to it, really intelligently about it because I don't know. I just only know the picture. And the thing about it is, with all of this stuff with AI, you can't even believe what you see because you don't even know if that's real or AI. I don't know. But it was like she posted something on social media about her exercising and the, the weight loss journey or something. So, yeah, Serena Williams. I think that's it with the red ochre. I mean, with the yellow ochre. And I'm going to dry and come back. Okay, we are here now with our cafe con leche, nutmegish type color. And we are going to see, we're going to add some layers of skin tone onto our handsome young man. Let's just see if I can let you see what the consistency is. So the consistency is a little bit thick. I'm going to add just a little bit of water solution, which is the distilled water and the wetting aid. For the most part, whenever I use distilled water, I have the wetting aid in if I'm doing anything as far as like with the paint, mixing the paint or, directly with paint. Let's see. That looks like it might be okay. Now what I will do, I'm going to go in the back of his head. Okay. Again, slowly building up. Yeah, you may say, well, this color isn't going to show because it's going to be under the hair. That's true, but we are building up colors so that the mid-face highlight will be, nicely, nice transition. So that's the thing. Behind the ears. And all of these mediums afford me the ability to have time to work on the kit. You know, I can work on a kit almost like a heat set artist. You know, you don't see them rushing, putting the paint on. Um, so these mediums added into the air dry paint helps the air dry paint slower drying pace, so it gives you time to work where you can pounce and it's not running. Because without these aids, you know, the wetting aid and the Liquitex, and you know, what would happen is the air dry paint would be, it's like you're chasing the paint because it would be drying so quickly. Um, Now what I'm doing is I'm going down with the mid face, kind of like somewhat with the mid face highlight. I'm not focusing all that much on the exact mid face highlight, but I am doing some. I am doing a little bit, getting a little bit of my transitional coloring in because that's something that is important to have, that transitional color. Let's see, piece of hair. And see, the thing is, the mid face highlight, you know, colors and everything, we blend it, you know, in. Excuse me. We take our time so that we can get the appropriate blend. Now I'll take my smaller brush and go in and around the ears. And remember the blue and the eyelet purple that we went into the ears with. Those beautiful colors add depth and dimension to the ears. Yeah, adds depth and dimension. I was thinking, I made mention of it, that after this baby, well, I am going to do a Caucasian. And I was thinking about after this baby, maybe doing a Caucasian. You can see subtle highlight, just a subtle, you can see a subtle bit. Now, of course, he's not going to be yellow. He's not. It just kind of looks, he kind of looks that way because of the coloring that we put on. So now we're going to go into the palm with this color as well. Okay, because we do want to give a little bit more of a fleshy coloring to it.
For Sunday, the Super Bowl party we're having at my house. Wanted to hang with a bunch of friends, family, and maybe on the road and just want to
And
now
yeah,
for the Super Bowl, we're on there. Oh my gosh, so much going on. The fans and all the cool things that happen.
I'm getting the fingers. So we're going over the entire kit with this color to deepen up the overall skin tone. Now, right now, we're not concerning ourselves with the side blending that we do. We're not concerned with that at the moment. We're just trying to build up color. That's what we're doing right now, building up color. And I know it takes time to build up colors. With air dry paint, the layers are thin and each layer builds upon the next layer. So, yeah. You might look at the kid and say, I don't see any change. I don't see any difference. I'm going to show you the difference when we look at the flange in comparison to the painted part of the kit. And you'll see that there is color being deposited on the kit. And you remember that the colors that we have selected, that we've applied, they've not been very deep, right? They've not been very deep colors. So you wouldn't expect to see a big, 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 difference in the color. But I am going to show you the difference. Okay, you see no color here, and you see the color that we've deposited. So we're getting little by little building up color. Now I'm gonna do the leg and then pause. I'm gonna go everywhere on the foot. And you always make sure if there's a toe that's separated that you get in between there as well. The top of the toes, we're making sure that we are getting the color on there. Yeah. And part of it, I will take the larger brush to cover a bit more surface, but to get in between the back of the knee, I will use the smaller brush so that I can get that area properly. Okay. Stir. And I want to make sure that I'm getting in here. And this cosmetic wedge has this point part to it, which fits in nicely in here. So it affords me the ability to get in and to be able to pounce it. I can go back to the larger brush and go over the rest of the thigh. And we want to be sure that we get the knee with these lovely dimples. Here we are pouncing. I would like to encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, set your notifications so you know when we are uploading. Please do stay safe. Enjoy your day. Peace and blessings.